Chosen one, this is not just a message. This is a divine alert from God himself. A powerful message was once sent to you, but God took it back. Only he knows why. Now he has sent a new and urgent message, one that you must hear right now before it disappears forever. If you're watching this, it's not by chance. You were guided here. Every step you've taken has led to this moment because something monumental is unfolding in your life. You stand at the edge of a transformation, both spiritual and material, unlike anything you've ever known. This message is here to awaken you, to empower you, to arm you with the divine knowledge and strength you'll need to repel the dark forces surrounding you and reclaim the light that is rightfully yours. You are about to start radiating spiritual power and high-frequency energy that will cleanse not only your mind, but your entire environment. Before you go any further, there are 3 things you must do immediately. Like this message, this action sends your energy outward and aligns you with divine frequency. Subscribe now, help us reach 1,000 chosen ones, preparing to rise together and fulfill God's mission. Comment the number 99, this sacred number amplifies the energy of this message and deepens your spiritual connection with God's guidance. Understand this, God is preparing to give you breakthroughs, but you must be ready to fight for them. Use your mind, use your resources, use your strength and even your pain. Nothing will be wasted. Everything will be transformed for the purpose of your calling, but this message will not be available for long. It may be deleted, banned, or hidden because of the power it holds. So listen carefully, absorb it deeply. Prepare yourself for the spiritual battle ahead. Stay calm, stay faithful, and trust completely in God's plan. Your fight has already begun, but here's this victory is already yours. There are moments in history when a message becomes more than just words. It becomes a lifeline, a divine call that shakes the soul. That moment is now. But the message is fragile, teetering on the edge of silence. The urgency is real. The truth is under attack. What you are hearing could shift the direction of your entire spiritual journey. Picture standing at the edge of a storm. Thunder rolls, lightning flashes, the winds of fear try to drown out this truth. But you were not born to be afraid. You were born to awaken. There are forces working night and day to suppress this message, not because it is false, but because it is powerful, because it exposes the truth. And truth is what sets you free. The window is narrow. You must act now. This is not prophecy. This is not speculation. This is a cry from the Creator himself, the one who sees your pain, your silent battles, and the war you're fighting inside. You were chosen to hear this for a reason. And now, the choice is yours. Heed this call, it is yours. But time is fleeting and the spiritual battlefield grows more intense by the hour. A profound mystery is unfolding. God's message was sent to humanity, then suddenly it was withdrawn, as if the heavens themselves paused, deliberating, questioning whether the world was truly ready to receive what was being revealed. Why would such a divine communication be pulled back? Only God knows the full truth. But perhaps it was a test, a spiritual check on the readiness of the chosen, a quiet sign that a deeper battle is already raging beneath the surface, beyond the physical, in realms where only faith can see clearly. This retraction isn't failure, it's a sacred act, deliberately designed to awaken us, to stir reflection, to command urgent preparation. The silence after the message feels like the final puzzle piece, urging us to question, to dig deeper, to recognize the immense forces at play. In a world consumed by distraction, false promises, and illusion, it's no surprise that the truth is often hidden. But the very fact that this divine message was pulled back tells us just how powerful it truly is. Powerful enough to disrupt the dark systems that enslave humanity. Powerful enough to shake their foundations. This mystery is a challenge, a call to remain alert, to keep your heart open, to prepare not with fear, but with focus and faith. When the message returns, it will come back stronger, sharper, and more urgent than ever before. And when it does, you must be ready. This pause is a spiritual test like no other to embrace the unknown, to walk with faith even when the map is unclear. The withdrawal of the message is both a warning and a blessing. It's calling you to fortify your mind, your soul, and your environment for what is coming next. Across the earth, an invisible war is underway. A war not of weapons, but of energy, thought, and spirit. The chosen ones, those whose souls have been awakened to a higher purpose, are under constant attack. These attacks don't always look like battles. They come as emotional turmoil, toxic relationships, unexplained fatigue, delays, confusion, and a storm of self-doubt. Maybe you've felt it. The days where it seems like you can't move forward, the nights where negativity clings to you like a shadow, the moments where everything feels off, yet you can't explain why. That's not just life. That's spiritual warfare. These forces want to isolate you. They want to make you believe you're alone. They aim to weaken your resolve, blur your vision, and push you away from your divine mission. But hear this truth: you are not alone. The chosen ones are rising. Across cities and villages, deserts and oceans, they are awakening. They are connected, not by words, but by a divine frequency, a light that no darkness can dim. This fight is very real. But so is the power within you. Each hardship, each struggle is shaping you, training you, fortifying your spirit. You were never meant to stay silent or small. You were born for this moment, for this divine uprising, and every step forward brings you closer to the sacred destiny carved by the Creator himself. Remember, the world you see is only a fraction of the truth. Beneath its surface, deception spreads like wildfire. But so does the light, and you are its carrier, and hearts are being flooded with confusion, fear, and falsehood. This darkness isn't just spiritual, it's deeply embedded in our material world. It creeps in through lies, corruption, and toxic influences, all designed to keep humanity locked in cycles of despair and spiritual numbness. Recognizing this, deception is the first and most crucial step in preparing for the battle ahead. Have you noticed how trust seems to be collapsing? Trust in institutions, in relationships, even in yourself. This is not by accident. Negative forces thrive on division, doubt, and disconnection from the divine. They infect your environment with low-frequency energies, fear, anger, jealousy, all designed to cloud your judgment and sever your connection to God's light. It's as if the very air you breathe has become a battleground for your soul's freedom. Preparation is no longer optional, it's essential. Spiritual warfare means fortifying your inner defenses with unwavering faith, consistent prayer, and conscious awareness. Material warfare means protecting your resources, your time, your health, your home, and your community. The time has come to awaken fully, to see through illusion, to arm you not with fear, but with truth and divine power. This fight is not only internal, it's external. Victory depends on your willingness to confront this growing darkness head-on with clarity, courage, and conviction. The chosen ones are under constant siege. Forces of darkness work day and night to undermine your purpose, disrupt your peace, and silence your light. These attacks don't always scream, they whisper. They arrive in the form of toxic thoughts, emotional upheaval, betrayal from people you love, or sudden trials that seem to come out of nowhere. It may feel like a deeply personal war, not just against the world, but against the shadows within your own mind. Have you ever noticed how negativity comes in waves? Sudden arguments, discouraging news, unexplained fatigue, feelings of isolation or hopelessness. These aren't random. They are precision strikes, spiritual ambushes designed to wear you down, weaken your light, and make you question your worth. The enemy's strategy is simple. Create doubt where there was once certainty. Plant fear where hope used to grow. Replace divine clarity with relentless noise and confusion. But remember this: you are a chosen one, and chosen ones carry something. Rare an inner light so strong it cannot be extinguished, only dimmed if you let it. By recognizing these attacks for what they are, you reclaim your power. This is not just about surviving, it's about transforming the negativity into fuel for your ascent. Every attack is an opportunity to rise higher, grow stronger, and shine brighter. Your response defines the outcome. Right now, our minds and environments are saturated with low-frequency energy. Just as pollution chokes our physical world, these negative vibrations contaminate our emotional and mental space. They create spiritual smog, a dense fog that blocks clarity, dulls our spirit, and interrupts our divine connection. Every day, these forces attempt to smother the light within you. They make it harder to hear God's voice, harder to feel peace, harder to remember your purpose. And unless you clear that space, unless you fight back, you'll be dragged into that same spiral of despair that is consuming so many others. Both literally and metaphorically, you are surrounded by pollution, social media dramas, conflicts at work or at home. Self-doubt creeping in like a silent thief. These aren't just nuisances. They are energetic pollutants dragging your frequency downward. Just like smog suffocates a city, these low vibrations choke the vitality from your spirit and blur your connection to higher purpose. This spiritual pollution is real, and ignoring it is no longer an option. Cleansing this pollution requires conscious action. It takes mindfulness. It takes spiritual discipline. You must create spaces where light, peace, and high vibration energy can not only survive but thrive. This means distancing yourself from toxicity, turning away from anything that poisons your soul, and instead surrounding you with love, gratitude, and divine alignment. You are being called to become a beacon of light in a world clouded by darkness. And the most powerful weapon you possess against that darkness is the intentional cultivation of positive energy, high-frequency spiritual power that cannot be corrupted. Imagine your spirit as a radiant lighthouse, a tower of unwavering light, cutting through the thick fog of confusion, pain, and negativity. Through prayer, meditation, deep faith, and even simple acts of kindness, you begin to radiate that light. You generate spiritual energy so potent that it forms an invisible shield of protection around you. This is not just spiritual philosophy, it's backed by science. Emotions like love, gratitude, and joy raise your vibration frequency. They strengthen your immune system, they alter your brain chemistry, and they shape your reality. When you focus on high vibration energy consistently, you shift not just your internal world, but the external world around you. You become a magnet for divine blessings, a force field against negativity, a ripple of healing that extends far beyond your physical self. But to maintain that frequency, you must commit. Commit to daily spiritual hygiene practices that nourish your soul. Surround yourself with people who uplift you. Absorb content that inspires. Engage in activities that light up your heart with purpose and passion. Because the energy you emit doesn't just affect your life, it influences the spiritual atmosphere of the entire planet. And in the middle of all this spiritual chaos, you are not alone. God's presence surrounds you like an invisible fortress. He sees your struggle. He walks with you through the fire. And when you falter, He is already there ready to catch you. This divine presence is not distant or silent. It is active. It is intimate. It speaks to you through vivid dreams that guide your steps, through sudden clarity that ignites hope, and through the soft whisper of intuition, nudging you forward when fear tries to hold you back. You are being invited to trust this guidance, even when it defies logic, even when it demands sacrifice, because the greatest breakthroughs are often born from the fiercest battles. Lean into this sacred relationship. Let prayer and meditation become your lifelines. Let them tune your spirit to divine frequency, because it is in this connection that you will find not only protection, but the courage and clarity to complete your mission. The divine is not watching from afar. The divine is walking with you. There are ways God communicates that go far beyond ordinary understanding. Dreams, intuition, and divine signs, these are the sacred languages of the Spirit. They are how God reaches you during the most critical moments of your journey. Within them lie messages, clues, warnings, confirmations that can shift the entire trajectory of your life if you're willing to listen. Pay close attention to your dreams. They may seem random, but often carry vivid symbols or direct instructions from above. Dreams unlock new awareness, reveal hidden fears, or point you toward solutions you've been too distracted to see. Your intuition, that quiet inner voice, acts as a divine compass, steering you away from danger and toward growth, truth, and opportunity. Sometimes God's signs come in the smallest of moments, a repeated number. A passing stranger saying something. You needed to hear a sudden calm in the middle of chaos. These signs aren't coincidences. They are sacred guideposts, meant to remind you that you are seen, protected, and on the right path. To receive them, you must stay open. You must learn to trust what doesn't always make sense to the mind, but resonates deeply in the soul. These forms of communication are divine gifts meant to strengthen your spirit and guide you through the spiritual battlefield that surrounds you. By embracing these sacred channels, you become more than just a survivor. You become a warrior of light, equipped to navigate the darkness and emerge victorious. This is your calling, and the battle ahead demands more than just bravery. It demands faith, it demands strategy, and it demands the wise use of every resource God has placed in your hands: your time, your energy, your money, your voice. You are not just defending yourself, you are standing guard for others, those who cannot yet see the war being waged around them. Your life becomes a ripple. Every courageous choice you make awakens others, giving them the strength to rise. Using your money wisely, investing in your spiritual growth, supporting your community, these are not small things. These are acts of war against fear, scarcity, and negativity. They are powerful strikes against the systems trying to keep your light hidden. Determination means refusing to quit, even when the path is steep and the weight is heavy. It means waking up with resolve, again and again, knowing that your fight is sacred, that every sacrifice you make is seen and honored by God. Your perseverance is the torch that lights the way for others still lost in the dark. One of the hardest parts of this battle, facing toxic people, those friends, relatives, or even mentors whose energy drains your spirit, whose words plant seeds of fear, doubt, or division. Some do this unknowingly. Others may be tools of the very darkness you are trying to overcome. Facing them requires deep strength and even deeper wisdom. You must understand, their toxicity is often a reflection of their own inner wounds, their own entrapment in the spiritual fog. This doesn't mean you accept their abuse, but it does mean you approach with compassion and firm boundaries. Protecting your energy is not selfish, it's sacred. It means walking away when needed, saying no without guilt. Creating space where your light can heal and grow. Fear will try to paralyze you, but you are not called to shrink, you are called to rise. Put on your spiritual armor, speak truth with love. Refuse to let the darkness define your story. Your faith and calm become your greatest defense. Even in conflict, your peace becomes power. Every storm you face contains within it a still center, a place of divine calm that no chaos can touch. Access to peace comes through unwavering trust in God. Spiritual battles are real. They are intense, draining, and deeply personal. But in the midst of this chaos, panic and fear are not your allies. They are the fuel that feeds the darkness. Choosing calm in the face of spiritual warfare is a radical act of faith. It is a declaration that fears will not rule you. It is how you reclaim your power and invite divine peace to flood your soul. When the attacks come, and they will remind you, you are not alone. This is temporary. You are divinely protected. Breathe deeply. Pray fervently. Let your trust in God's plans steady your trembling heart. This calmness is not weakness. It is not surrender. It is active resilience, a steady flame that no storm can extinguish. Through calmness, you create space for divine intervention. You invite the presence of God to wash over your fears and doubts, replacing them with strength, clarity, and light. This inner stillness becomes your sacred ground, your launch point for spiritual battle. Though the road is difficult, victory is assured to those who remain steadfast. The warriors of light will not merely survive, they will rise. They will emerge stronger, wiser, and glowing with divine grace. And their triumph is not only personal, it is cosmic, a restoration of light. In a world suffocating under darkness, the rewards of this victory go far beyond material blessings. They are eternal, a deep and unshakable peace, a sense of sacred purpose fulfilled, and a connection to God that no trial can sever. The scars you carry from the battle, they will become your badges of honor, symbols of a soul that refused to bow to darkness. You are being called now to envision that victorious future. Let that vision give you strength. See yourself standing tall, radiant with truth, and fully aligned with your divine mission, because the greatest reward is not comfort, it's the fulfillment of your purpose, to be a beacon of hope, a catalyst of transformation, and a vessel for divine light in a world desperate for healing. Your perseverance will leave behind a legacy, a story of faith and courage that will echo through generations. Let every moment of struggle become a page in that sacred story. And remember, your spiritual aura is your invisible armor. It is a glowing field of energy that surrounds you, shielding you from negativity and empowering your soul. Building and strengthening this aura is not optional in today's world. It is essential. You are living in a time of energetic warfare, and your aura is your first line of defense. This is not a passive shield. It is an active, radiant force, cultivated through daily spiritual practices and conscious intention. Visualize it, a luminous bubble of divine light surrounding you. It grows stronger with each prayer, with every kind thought, with every act of love. Meditation, breathwork, grounding exercises. These are the tools that reinforce your energy field. They transform your body into a sanctuary where divine light can dwell uninterrupted by darkness. As your aura grows, it does more than protect you. It becomes a magnet for light, attracting divine favor, repelling darkness, and even shielding others who come near you. Your presence becomes a blessing, your energy a fortress, your life a weapon of light. But understand this, behind the veil of ordinary life, there is a deeper conflict unfolding. There is a shadowy global conspiracy working tirelessly to silence the chosen ones. Dark forces, hidden agendas, and manipulative systems are aligned not just politically or economically, but spiritually. They fear the rise of enlightened souls. They fear your awakening, because once awakened, your power cannot be controlled. This conspiracy runs deep, woven into media, politics, and social structures. Its purpose is clear: to keep humanity in spiritual and material bondage. They want you unaware, distracted, disconnected from your divine purpose. Because once the chosen ones awaken and unite, they become unstoppable, capable of dismantling every illusion and system built to control them. But here's the truth: knowledge is power. Understanding the hidden war is how you reclaim your sovereignty. This is not just a call to spiritual awakening. It's a call to awaken intellectually, emotionally, and socially. You are part of a global network, a rising tide of light warriors pushing through the darkness. By standing in your truth, by sharing what you know, by refusing to be silenced, you become a beacon. Every time you speak truth, you disrupt the enemy's plan. Every time you rise, you illuminate a path for someone else still trapped in the shadows. This knowledge is your weapon. It is your shield. It is your call to action. The time is now. Rise fearlessly, unapologetically in unity. Now, look closer. Because the front lines of this war are not just global, they're deeply personal. Toxic relationships often feel like invisible traps. They drain your energy, cloud your mind, and leave you doubting your own worth. But this goes far beyond human dysfunction. These are battlegrounds where negative spiritual forces exploit emotional wounds to weaken your soul. These dark entities feed on pain. They hide behind people you once trusted, twisting love into confusion, joy into sorrow. They stir anger, jealousy, and resentment. They use words like weapons, planting seeds of doubt and division. You may leave a conversation feeling exhausted, heavy, and dark, as if something sacred was stolen from you. That's not just drama, that's spiritual warfare in disguise. The first step to reclaiming your energy is to recognize the manipulation, to see clearly when a relationship has crossed the line from difficult to destructive, and then you act. Set boundaries that protect your spirit. Practice forgiveness, not as an excuse for bad behavior, but as a tool to cut the energetic chains tying you to pain. Invoke protective prayers, call on divine light, and shield your aura like your life depends on it, because your peace does. This isn't about abandoning love. It's about protecting your sacred energy from forces that seek to consume it. You deserve relationships that uplift, inspire, and heal. People who feed your light, not feed off of it. By refusing to be a spiritual battery for the toxic and the lost, you reclaim your power, your clarity, and your peace. This is how you begin to rise again, not just surviving but thriving, because every warrior needs weapons. In this battle, your arsenal is not made of steel or bullets. It's forged in faith, intention, and divine truth. Your weapons are prayer, sacred scripture, affirmations, rituals. These are your tools, your shields, your swords of light. And now, activating this weaponry is no longer optional. Passive defense is not enough. Prayer is your most potent weapon, an intimate, powerful dialogue with God that pulls divine protection down from the heavens and wraps it around your soul like armor. When you pray with conviction, you access a force beyond human comprehension, a power capable of dismantling even the darkest influences that seeks to harm your soul. Sacred words, scriptures, and chants serve as spiritual armor, reminding you of who you are, whose you are, and why you must never surrender to fear or deception. Visualizations and affirmations are not just mental exercises, they are spiritual technology. Each one creates energetic shields, barriers of light that repel negativity before it can ever touch your heart. Close your eyes and imagine this: a brilliant golden light surrounding you, impenetrable, radiant, and alive. This is not fantasy. This is the power you wield through focused spiritual discipline. Beyond these, there are ancient rituals, smudging with sage, cleansing with salt baths, charging with crystals that can transform your environment into a sacred fortress. These practices, though rooted in tradition, are increasingly supported by modern science's understanding of energy, vibration, and electromagnetic fields. Together, they create sanctuaries of divine protection, physical spaces where your spirit can breathe and your light can expand. The battle is fierce, but with these spiritual weapons activated, you step onto the battlefield armored and ready, and yet prayer alone is not enough. Spiritual warfare demands wise stewardship of your physical life, your finances, your health, your time. These are not distractions from your mission. They are tools to fulfill it. Without managing them wisely, even The most fervent soul can falter beneath the weight of earthly pressures. God's plan for you is not only spiritual, it's material. His will must manifest through your actions in this world. Think about it. Money can fund a retreat that renews your strength. It can buy clean food, healing herbs, or protective tools that fortify your body and space. It can be given generously to help others, generating immense spiritual merit that returns to you multiplied. Time, when spent in rest, reflection, and community, becomes the foundation of resilience. It keeps your spirit whole, sharpens your discernment, and expands your divine influence. And your body, your sacred temple, must be nourished. With proper nutrition, movement, rest, and healing, your soul can endure the weight of this mission without breaking. This battle demands a holistic approach: spirit and body, heaven and earth, prayer and planning. To neglect your physical vessel is to weaken your spiritual reach. To care for it is to honor God's creation and to fortify you for the long road ahead. The scriptures remind us clearly: faith without works is dead. Your resources are part of those works, so budget your time with intention. Invest in your health with reverence. Use your finances to amplify your purpose. When your material world aligns with your spiritual calling, you become an unstoppable force for light. And in the silent hours of the night, when the noise of the world fades, that's when God speaks most clearly, through dreams, through visions, through secret channels of communication that transcend the conscious mind. These are not ordinary moments of sleep. They are sacred encounters where heaven brushes against earth. Lucid dreams, visions, sudden flashes of divine truth, they come not to entertain, but to warn, guide, and prepare. They come to those who are willing to listen with the ears of the soul. These midnight revelations carry the blueprints of your mission and the reminders that you were chosen for this exact moment in time. In these sacred dream realms, you may receive instructions, meet spiritual guides, or confront the very fears that are blocking your path forward. These encounters are not random. They are divine gifts, customized by heaven itself to strengthen, prepare, and awaken you for the battles ahead. Divine visions, whether they come as a sudden flash of insight or as long, symbolic dreams, carry messages encoded in a spiritual language. To understand them requires more than intellect. It requires openness, prayer, discernment, and spiritual sensitivity. Start keeping a dream journal. Write down the visions, the symbols, and the emotions you feel upon waking. Reflect on patterns and recurring themes. Share your experiences with trusted spiritual mentors or guides, those who walk the path of light, so they can help you discern the hidden messages. By embracing this sacred dialogue, you deepen your connection to God's plan. You gain access to guidance beyond human wisdom, and you are spiritually armed for the challenges that lie ahead. Remember, the spiritual battle is often invisible, but its effects are not. They ripple through your life in unmistakable ways. Recognizing the signs of spiritual warfare early can save you from deeper wounds. Have you felt sudden and unexplained exhaustion, persistent despair, disturbing nightmares, or an intense sense of isolation? These are not coincidences. They are spiritual warning signs, indicators that dark forces may be targeting your energy, your clarity, your faith. Watch for increased conflicts, betrayal by trusted loved ones, or recurring negative thoughts that spiral into fear or depression. Even physical symptoms like chronic headaches, insomnia, or unexplainable pain can be manifestations of spiritual attack. These symptoms reflect the powerful mind-body-spirit connection, a connection that darkness seeks to corrupt. The goal of these attacks to destabilize your confidence, to disconnect you from divine energy, to drown out God's voice with noise and despair. Beware of a spiritual dryness when prayer feels hollow, when God feels distant, and when the light seems dim. This isn't a lack of faith, it's often a result of external interference, a targeted effort to weaken your resolve. But here is the good news. Awareness is your power. The moment you recognize these signs, you can take back control, respond immediately, intensify your spiritual practices. Surround yourself with high vibrational people. Consult with trusted spiritual leaders. Use protective rituals, cleansing baths, prayer circles, anointing oil, or sacred affirmations. Recognizing that you are under spiritual attack allows you to fight back with renewed focus and divine authority. And now, even modern science is beginning to confirm what ancient wisdom has always known: everything is energy. Everything in creation vibrates your thoughts, your emotions, your body, your spirit. Negative emotions like fear, anger, envy, and grief emit low frequencies. They weaken your immune system. They drain your life force. They make you vulnerable to external attacks. But emotions like love, joy, peace, and gratitude, they raise your frequency, creating an invisible spiritual shield that repels darkness and invites divine blessings. Scientific research shows that higher vibrational states correspond to improved mental clarity, better health, and sharpened intuition. This is not just metaphysical theory. It's a spiritual truth backed by science. So how do you raise your frequency? Practice gratitude every day. Engage in joyful, soul-nourishing activities. Spend time in nature, God's original sanctuary. Surround yourself with people, words, and music that uplift your spirit. Every choice you make either raises or lowers your vibration. Choose wisely, because when your frequency is high, you become untouchable, a radiant force of divine light, moving through a world still cloaked in shadow. Surround yourself with uplifting people, those who speak life into your purpose and support your journey. Even the music you listen to matters. Songs tuned to healing frequencies like 432 Hz or 528 Hz can harmonize your energy field and restore emotional and spiritual balance. This intentional shift in energy creates a kind of energetic immunity, a radiant field that repels toxic influences and attracts divine favor. In this spiritual war, your vibration is your armor. So cultivate positivity relentlessly. Every smile you offer, every grateful thought you hold, every calm breath you take is strengthening your spiritual and physical resilience. Just as pollution clouds the sky, toxic energy clouds your spirit. It clutters your mind, it drains your vitality. Mental fog, unresolved trauma, and negative influences accumulate like thick smog, blocking your connection to God and to your true self. Cleansing these pollutants is essential to reclaim your clarity and power. Begin with your mind. Practice. Mindfulness learns to observe your negative thought patterns without judgment. Let go of grudges, fears, and limiting beliefs through tools like journaling, prayer, and deep self-reflection. Use visualization techniques. See your mind clearing like a sky after a storm, open, bright, and peaceful, inviting fresh energy to flow freely. Your physical space must also reflect this cleansing. Smudge with sage. Light candles. Use sound healing bells, singing bowls, even frequency music. These tools disrupt stagnant energy and invite light to take its place, cluttering your home, your desk, your sacred corner. It all makes room for divine presence. Create sacred spaces for prayer, meditation, and silence. Let these be zones of peace, where God is welcomed and your spirit is renewed. But remember, consistency is key. Spiritual cleansing is not a one-time event. It must be practiced regularly to reset your energetic field and protect against ongoing pollution. With this commitment, your mind and environment become fertile ground places where your soul can thrive and where God's guidance can be clearly received. Above all, know this: prayer and meditation is not just spiritual practices. They are your frontline defense. In a world full of distractions, temptations, and invisible attacks, these sacred disciplines become your shelter. Prayer creates a sacred channel to God, a direct connection that calls forth protection, wisdom, and divine strength. It aligns your will with His will, activating unseen forces to guide and guard you. Meditation, on the other hand, cultivates inner stillness. It helps you detach from the chaos around you and from the whispers of negativity trying to steal your peace. In this silence, you hear your true voice. You feel the presence of God. You receive direction, clarity, and healing. Together, prayer and meditation becomes the core of your spiritual arsenal. They transform fear into faith. They restore calm in crisis. They remind you of who you are, a chosen soul, a warrior of light, and a vessel for divine power.